And is Willie, is Kamal ready there?
Just maybe in 3 minutes, 4 minutes.
Yeah. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, girls and boys, the assembled company, welcome to the World Storytelling Cafe, and it is Tuesday. And if everything goes according to plan, there will be young tellers from the 4 corners of the globe, and that always amuses me and Baba C, that we describe the 4 corners of a round object, but that's kind of Zen. So but we're hopefully starting in Marrakesh. And if no one else comes on, we'll probably be finishing in Marrakesh as well. But there's for the moment, we have Simona, who's packing up her classroom, and yeah, that's a teacher thing, moving tables at the end of the day and stacking them up. Yeah, and we've all got the cafe coming on, so I'm hoping that the cafe is going to have numerous young tellers. That's a very fine t-shirt you're wearing there, Willie. Okay. This is an organizational start to the program, right? So we've got our young terrorist, whose name I have forgotten, is having a stretch. So we're going to unmute the cafe.
His name is Mohammed.
Mohammed. No, I remember it's Mohammed. Hello, Mohammed. How are you? Mohammed is muted. He needs to unmute. You're muted, Mohammed. You're still muted. Hello, Mohammed. How are you this evening?
I'm doing well, thank you.
That's great. So, yeah, have you got a story for us?
Yeah.
So, what would be great was if you tell it in English first, and then we hear it in Moroccan, because then we can hear the music of the story. Are you okay to do that, or you're just going to tell it in one language?
It's in another language. It's not in Moroccan Arabic. It's Berber actually. It's another
Berber. Yeah, that's why I said Moroccan rather, because then that gives you the choice of
my ethnicity.
Amazigh or Arabic. So if you could give us a gist in English and then in Amazigh, that would be marvelous. So take it away, Mohammed. Fantastic.
Yes.
It's all yours.
Should I start? Once upon a time, there was a farmer who needed a donkey. So the farmer decided to go to the market, the donkeys, to buy a donkey so that he uses the donkey to help him around the farm. So he woke up in the morning, and then he went to the market to buy a donkey. He started his journey toward the market, and when he reached the market, when he arrived at the market, he started moving from one donkey to another, asking for the prices and trying to find the right donkey for the right price. He started negotiating the prices so that he finds the right donkey for the right price. So when he found the right donkey for the right price, he bought the donkey, and then he took the donkey and tied a rope around the donkey's neck. And then he started pulling the donkey behind him. He was walking in front of the donkey and pulling the donkey behind him. He started walking and walking and walking and walking, very peaceful, walking. But two thieves noticed the man pulling the donkey. So the two thieves made a plan. They came sneaking behind the man who is pulling the donkey. One of the thieves took the rope and tied it around his friend's neck, and the man didn't notice anything. So the man carried on pulling, but he didn't notice that he's pulling a thief now. He's not a thief now. He's not pulling a donkey. He carried on peacefully. He carried on his journey toward his home. So he kept walking till he arrived at his home. When he arrived at the door of his home, he turned around and he found a human. He was shocked. He started screaming, "What is this? What's going on? You are a human. Where is my donkey? What's happening? Where is my donkey?" The thief got on his knees. He got on his knees and started crying. He didn't say a word. He kept crying and yelling, crying. The man who bought the donkey was so shocked, he was speechless. Till a moment, the thief started speaking. He said that he was so bad to his mother. He was so naughty. He was so bad toward his mother. And God cursed him from the seventh heaven, cursed him and turned him to a donkey as a punishment for being so rude and so bad toward his mother. And by the blessing of this man who bought the donkey, by the blessing of the man, he became a human again, because he was bought by this honorable man. The man was so glad to hear that he blessed another human being and turned him back to being a human again. He was so glad. He took the thief and started giving him advice to how to be a good child to his mother, to how to be very, very, very helpful, so that he be a very kind person to his mother. And then he released the man. The man who needed the donkey, who bought the donkey, he's left now without any donkey. He needs a donkey. So he decided to go back tomorrow morning to the market to buy a donkey. So he woke up again the next morning and went to the market to buy another donkey. He started moving around the donkeys, trying to find another suitable donkey for the suitable price. But when he was walking around the donkeys in the market, he noticed the donkey that he bought yesterday. The donkey that he bought yesterday is in the market. So he was shocked again. But he figured out everything. He went to the donkey and started talking in the donkey's ears, saying, "So you went right away back to be a very bad child towards your mother, and God cursed you again from the heavens. I'm not wasting my money on you again. I'm not buying you again. This is the end of our journey." And voila, this is the story.
Thank you, Mohammed. Now, can we have, you're running away. Now, could we have the same story?
I have plans, actually. I need to go.
Oh, next week we'll hear one.
Inshallah.
Inshallah. Next week, one in Amazon. Right.
Thank you.
Kamal, is there anyone else to tell in the cafe? You go. Oh, have a good night, Mohammed. Right. Kamal,
Amazing.
Have you any more students, Kamal?
No, there is only one.
Oh, that's okay. So That. There's nothing wrong with only wrong one. We're only one is an improvement on 2 weeks ago. Let's not be greedy. Jasname, are you with us?
Yes.
Well, obviously now you keep coming and going. We missed your face, right? So, how are you this week, Jasname?
I'm fine.
That's good, and we'll have a story in English, and you promised us a story in Punjabi.
Yes.
Are you going to keep your promise?
Yes.
Fantastic. So we're trying to get as many languages as possible on tonight, but it might just be, well, we had a bit of Arabic last week. We would have had a bit of Amazon had Mohammed not have to go, and we'll have English and Punjabi now. So Jasname, at least you come on second this night today and not been first. So yeah, it's brilliant. But over to you.
So, hello everyone. My name is Jasname, and today I'm going to narrate you the story named The Emperor and the Nightingale. Once there was a small kingdom in China. It was a beautiful kingdom. It had gardens which extended till one could see. And the king also didn't know how much far did those gardens go. That kingdom was very much appreciated because it was so pretty. And the most beautiful and the unique part of that kingdom was a nightingale. Yes, a nightingale. People from far would come to the gardens to hear the nightingale as she sang beautifully. She sang melodiously, and everyone liked her a lot. One day, the emperor read a news about his kingdom. As he was reading, he came upon the word nightingale, and so he shouted, "What's this nightingale? I have never heard about her. How can people hear her?" And so the servants came and said, we also don't know where this nightingale comes from. I guess people have heard her in the gardens." And so he said, "I want this nightingale right now." Right now means right now. And both the servants were sent to find the nightingale. And soon they took around, but still they could not find it. They said, "What's this nightingale? What's so unique in it? What is she? Who is she?" And so they questioned a lot. Then they came upon a gardener and asked, "Sir, do you know what a nightingale is?" And the gardener said, "Yes, why not? I know." And so he took them to the nightingale. Now, as they reached to the nightingale, what they saw was a brown color bird, an ordinary bird for some people. And so the servant said, "What? This? This is a nightingale? What is this? This is just rubbish." And then the gardener said, "Wait, let her sing." And so she started to sing. Her voice was so melodious that both the servants started to clap. And so they said, "Dear nightingale, will you come with us to the emperor? He wants to see you. It's his request." And so the bird said, "Why not? But I like to stay in my garden. But still, if the emperor wishes, I will come." And so she flew to his palace. And now, when the emperor saw her, he was surprised. He said, "Nothing is good in her. What's so thing?" And so she started. The emperor said, "She sings melodiously. I can't leave her. She will stay in my palace, in my room with me." And so a golden cage was brought for her. Now she did not like it at all because she liked to sing in those big valleys and gardens. One day, a Japanese emperor came to that Chinese emperor and said, "Here is another nightingale for you. I know your nightingale has stopped singing because she is caged. So I've brought this clock nightingale. She will sing all time because machines are running in her, and you can keep her anywhere." Now, Emperor started to pay attention at the machine nightingale, and slowly and steadily, the real nightingale was now flown away from her cage. And what happened next day was that machine nightingale got kicked, and so it was broken into pieces, and it did not sing. Its machinery was broken. Now the king fell ill. He said, "I want the nightingale, I want the nightingale." Death was running around him. And so what he prayed was a night. The servants went again, and next day the nightingale came on his window and sang. And so the king was very fine. He was very strong again. And he asked for the birds to stay with him forever. And the bird said, "Surely I can't stay with you, but I promise you, that tree near your window, I will make my nest there and sing for you whenever you." Thank you.
A beautiful story about a nightingale. I love it. And yeah, they do sing melodious. And so they tell me in Suffolk. Now, do you have a story in Punjabi for us?
Yes, I have.
Oh, let us hear the music of the language.
So, as last time I narrated you the Hoja story about his meal. So I have the same story in Punjabi today. So ਇੱਕ ਦਿਨ ਦੀ ਗੱਲ ਹੈ, ਹੋਜਾ ਨੇ ਆਪਣੇ ਮਿੱਤਰਾਂ ਨਾਲ ਸੋਚਿਆ ਸੀ ਕਿ ਉਹ ਇੱਕ ਪਾਰਟੀ ਰੱਖੇਗਾ ਤੇ ਇਸ ਪਾਰਟੀ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਸਭ ਨੂੰ ਕੁਝ ਨਾ ਕੁਝ ਖਾਣ ਨੂੰ ਬਣਾਉਣ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਦਿੱਤਾ ਜਾਵੇਗਾ ਤੇ ਇੱਕ ਜਣੇ ਨੇ ਚਾਵਲ ਬਣਾਏ, ਦੂਜੇ ਨੇ ਮਿਠਾਈ ਬਣਾਈ ਤੇ ਤੀਜੇ ਕੁਝ ਪੀਣ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਲਿਆਇਆ। ਉਹ ਸਭਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਬਹੁਤ ਮਜ਼ੇ ਕੀਤੇ, ਪਰ ਸਭ ਦੇ ਮਨ ਵਿੱਚ ਇੱਕ ਪ੍ਰਸ਼ਨ ਸੀਗਾ ਕਿ ਹੋਜਾ ਨੂੰ ਕੀ ਕੰਮ ਹੈ। ਤੇ ਹੋਜਾ ਨੇ ਕਿਹਾ, ਮੇਰਾ ਕੰਮ ਇਹ ਪਾਰਟੀ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਖਾਣਾ ਹੈ, ਹੋਰ ਕੁਝ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਰਨਾ। Thank you.
Thank you. Oh, wonderful, wonderful. So I'm afraid I'm going to put this on you. Well, as often as you like. It must never turn into a task. It must always be fun. But whenever you would like to come here and tell a story in Punjabi as well as English, you are welcome, because it's a beautiful language. I can't understand it, but it's a beautiful language. And I love the sound of languages. And
hey, John.
Yeah.
May I pip in for a moment? I'll keep it brief.
It's okay.
Okay. So, Princess, once again, you remind me of why I call you Princess. One of my favorite poems in the whole wide world was written by a very famous African-American poetess by the name of Maya Angelou. And she wrote a poem called "I Know Why the Caged Bird Sings." And one of the final lines in the poem is, "It sings of freedom." And when your nightingale was caged, it stopped singing. And it reminded me of that. But once it was uncaged, it sang, but it sang of freedom. Asante, thank you very much.
Thank you. And thank you. And of course, the whole novel, a series of novels, of which that was the first. So.
Yes, she was a prolific poetess and essayist and writer. She was awesome. And if you haven't already, Jasname, I invite you to Google her, to look up Maya Angelou and read some of her poetry. I think you'll find it fascinating.
Yeah, and he's put the spelling in the chat.
Yes. Hopefully I got it right. I did.
You did. You got it. You got it. Or at least that's what my memory cells tell me. But they're unreliable. Well, where are we? We're at 25. Would David? Would you like to make a comment on Jasname?
Absolutely, but before that, I was listening on Facebook as I was just arriving home, and heard the beginning of Mohammed's story, and then came in live and heard the end of it. I know Mohammed's gone, but Kamal and Walid, if you can pass on to Mohammed, that was just fantastic storytelling from Mohammed. I loved it. Just brilliant to hear stories from Morocco, and it's a story I know, but I never heard it told by a Moroccan person before, and it was just gorgeous, wonderful storytelling. Well done, Mohammed. And then Jasname, that was amazing to hear the story that you told in English, and as Babasi said, a story about that. It's a story I've told as well. It's such a powerful story, but you brought it to life. It was just beautiful in your English. And then you shared a story in Punjabi, which is just fantastic. And listening to Babasi today, I can hear that Babasi is not singing as he normally would in his beautiful nightingale voice. I'm guessing he's got some kind of lurgy, as we call it in England. Do you call it a lurgy in Washington? I'm not sure.
No, but what's happening is I'm taking something to help me sleep, and it relaxes me. And this actually, believe it or not, was my original voice way before people tick me off. So it's kind of heavy, and it shocks me every time I start. I go, wait a minute, who's in the room with me? But it's me. But anyhow, I'm okay.
Oh, good. I've got one more thing. Jasname, I can't express it in words how good your storytelling is. So I'm going to just express it. Oh, I can't do it because, I was going to express it in a different way, but I can't because I can't screen share. So, anyway, I was just going to play a recording that I've got of a nightingale singing, because that's what it sounded like to me. Unless Walid can allow me to share the screen, because it's just wonderful. Your voice is just beautiful and enchanting. So thank you so much.
I don't think, while we're waiting, Simona, have you anything to say to Jasname and a comment we can pass on to Mohammed?
Sorry, I was eating.
Yeah, I noticed. I caught you with your mouth full. My object in life my mission is to embarrass people. So,
yeah. So Jasname, I loved your first story, and it has such a deep meaning. It was really, really beautiful, and I loved when you told the story in Punjabi, and I love the musicality of the language, and I was like, okay, that's the next language I'm going to learn, and it was really, really nice. I don't have any clue of what you said, but it sounded nice. It really sounded like you were telling a story in a really good way, and I loved Mohammed's story, and I had already heard that story somewhere. Maybe it was you, David. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I was like, oh, it must have been David. And but it was really, really nice to hear it again. And I didn't know that story came from Morocco. So now that I have that connection, it's really nice to hear a Moroccan tale told by a Moroccan person. And so thank you very much.
thank you, Simona. And if you want to hear an English version of the Punjabi story, if you go into last week's Young Tellers, did you tell it at the beginning or the end of the show? Last week, Jasname? You're muted.
Beginning.
The beginning. So if you just listen to the first story of last week's young tellers.
That's the one. That's the one I missed last week. I came in when Mohammed was telling his story last week,
Yeah.
so I missed
So
that. I'm
if
going
you
to-
listen to the first story, which was Jasname, that was the English version of the Punjabi story she was told today.
Perfect.
Right.
Thank you.
Well, it looks like we're running out. So
Hey,
I'm
John.
not going to tell you what's going to hold on. Yeah, Baba, see what you're going to say.
Yeah, I just don't want to be remiss. I enjoy Muhammad's story as well, so please convey that to him. I didn't want people to think that I had ignored him or wasn't impressed. He was a very great storyteller. He's becoming better every time he tells a story.
Yeah. Well, so,
Okay.
So you can tell him next week when he's back. But for now, I would normally at this point be telling you all about what is happening on Friday. But we have the host of Friday with us live and direct. And it's going to be, I'll tell you when it's going to be on. It's going to be on at 6 o'clock in the evening on Friday. And I'm actually going to be able to listen to it live because I've had a booking cancelled, and I don't mind because I want to get straight in live to this this magnificent event that is coming up on Friday. David, would you like to tell us all about it?
Absolutely, but I'm just going to play a few seconds of the Nightingale that we could hear as Jasname told the story in our imaginations. Can you hear that?
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, yes, Friday night for children's storytelling, we've got Otherworldly Beings. And I'm going to be hosting storytellers from different parts of the world. And each of them is going to tell a story, a short tale, featuring an otherworldly being from their own culture. There'll be spooky stories for Halloween. So we've got An Suk in Korea and Padmini Rangajaran from the south of India telling a story about a Rakshas. And we've got Sika Gurung from Nepal, who's also telling a story about a Rakshas, so from the other end of beyond the north of India. And we've got stories from Geraldine Nanjala in Kenya, from Evi Karidi in Greece, perhaps from Hend Kata in Palestine, definitely from Simona Stambazzi in Italy. Hey, Simona! We've got stories from, Vera Cabrera Duarte in Brazil, about Curupira, a spirit from the Amazonian rainforest. Don't cross him, his feet are on backwards. And finally, there will be Gustavo, our friend Gustavo von Bischofshausen from Peru, telling another Amazonian tale, I believe, from Peruvian Amazonias. So, and I might tell a story as well from here in Devon, in the southwest of England. I'm very excited to be hosting this event. I'm really glad you can come along, John, and everybody to come along and listen and support. That would be amazing. It's a story, it's going to be an event that we can spread around the world and learn about so many different cultures. It's going to be great.
Fantastic. Now, this is really important. Waleed, are you with us? Waleed, are you listening?
Yes. Yes.
And Baba C, this is important for you because our clocks change at 2 o'clock on Sunday morning.
Uh-oh.
So I think we lose an hour. So it goes back to Greenwich Mean Time so check when, because I say this is particularly important for Baba C and the rest of us, and Waleed, because Waleed will be driving the bus as usual or flying the magic carpet. But on Sunday, we have, it's been Black History Month in the UK here, and for all this month. And so I thought we should see out the months with a celebration of Black History Month UK. So we have at least, and it's possibly more, but at least Baden Prince, Babasi,
Yes.
Yusufu Jallo from Sierra Leone, and now there is a possibility of Shola coming on, and there's a possibility of a young storyteller called Aleem, who we haven't had on before, will be coming, I think, to the festival in Marrakesh. But he is a young black teller from I think based in London. But everyone, I keep hearing, occasionally you get a young artist that comes on, and everyone is talking about them. And through the summer, I heard lots of noise from different people about Aleem. So it'll be really good if Baden can contact him during the week, and which he's trying to do. And if we can get Aleem on there, I'm very excited about that. But whatever it is, it will be a fantastic, even if we only have Baden, Yusufu, and Babasi, that will be magnificent. All we can
Yes,
do
it
is
will.
up the magnificence.
Hey, John, you in the UK, you switch time this Sunday, right?
Yeah, 2 o'clock.
And I think
2 o'clock in the morning on Sunday. So in effect, it's when you wake up. When we wake up on Sunday morning, it's already happened.
and in the US, we switch on November 6th, I think it is. So for a moment, we're going to be 4 hours apart, and then back to 5 hours apart. But I got to check that because I don't want to miss this thing, because I know David's program is going to be a how.
Well, David's program will be at the same time because it's on Friday.
I know.
So there's no change there.
I just wanted to work in howling.
Babasi,
all.
I'm a bit worried. I think you're going to find Simona's story too scary. I think you should miss it, because I've had a preview, and I just don't know if you're up to. I mean, Jasname probably can cope, but looking at Babasi, it might be too scary.
I don't know. I've survived Congress, so I think I can handle a good horror story.
And just now, mate, it'll be worth popping in and having a look at this program, I think. But meanwhile, and then what have we got? Well, next Tuesday, obviously, we have at least from the World Storytelling Cafe and Punjab, we have our young international tellers, because unless Jasname's got exams next weekend, she will be with us. Next, you got no exams coming up?
Not now. Like they're in Jan now.
In January. Well, okay. So you're with us till at least January, and then you might actually have to have a week off in order to study. So we've got that, and then the following Friday, I've got someone entirely different. And I can't remember for the life of me who it is.
Special guest star.
Yeah, it could be. It could be Usha from India, unless she's the weekend afterwards. Just 2 seconds, everybody. I have my diary. I wrote it down. I was not relying on my memory cells.
At least you can read your handwriting. I can't read mine.
Okay, so we will not be in October anymore. So it will be
November.
And
Well, David. A loogie is something you in the States. A loogie is something you spit out. Like if you have a nose full, and then you spit it out. That's a loogie.
Do we need that kind of information?
Well, he asked me about a loogie.
I suppose
the English word is not the same. It's lurgy. Lurgy.
I should have seen that lurking about.
Lurgie. Is that how you say it?
Lurgy. Anyway, back to the I have found my diary. And on November the 4th, it will be Deborah Weller.
Oh,
And
yeah.
yeah, so that'll be good. So I'm looking forward to that. So, but right now we've got a very packed weekend. We've got loads of stuff coming up. Until that time, thank you all for joining us. Thank you for Jasname. Thank you for running everything,
Jasname.
Waleed and Simona and David for joining us. We'll see you on Friday. Okay, and you, Babasi.
Yes, on
Yeah,
Sunday.
yeah, well, yeah, but you always stick your head in Friday.
Oh, yes.
We'll see you, but we'll hear you on Sunday.
Okay.
We'll see you Friday, hear you on Sunday. Right, and with that, good night, everyone, or good afternoon, or good morning, wherever you are in this big wide world. Bye-bye.
Everyone take care. Until the next time.
Bye.
To be
Good night,
continued.
everyone.
Good night,
Take care,
everyone.
Jasname. Take care, everyone.
Thank you.
I look forward to your evening, David.
Thank you. Oh, Waleed, what time should I tell people to meet on Friday? Shall I
Yes.
tell people to come in 5 minutes before 6 o'clock?
Yeah, between 10 and or 5 minutes before.
Okay, so people could arrive at 10 to 6.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, brilliant. Okay, I'll tell the storytellers to get here nice and punctual. Brilliant. Thank you very much.
You're
Bye.
welcome.
Thank you, Waleed. Bye. Bye, Babas.
All right. Take care, everybody. And the new voice. Take care, Waleed. Thank you.
You too. Thank you
All
so
right.
much.
So you know what I'm getting ready to say. See out.
Out.